Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Hari Om Shuklambaradharam Vishnu Shashivarnam Chaturbhujam Prasannavadaram Dhyayat Sarvvighnopaşantaya Vāgīshādhyā Samansa Sarvārthānām Upakramena Nattvātrikritya Sutam Namāmi Gajananam Guru Brahma Guru Vishnu Guru Deva Maheshwara Guru Sakshat Parabrahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Yo Nityam Achyuta-Padāmbujī Gurukam Vyāmohata Sajivrāni Trināya Mene Asmad Guru Tulsi Dayeka Sindho Ramanujasya Charanam Sharanam Prapadye यस्य स्मरणमात्रेण द्वैतवासना प्रमुच्यते बोधात्मकाय नमस्तस्मै भगवते श्रीरमण श्री हृदाकाशे सदा भान्तं शान्तमानन्दरूपिणं ज्ञानवाणं वन्दे सद्गुरुं श्री सत्यसायिनं मम अन्तर्यामिनं दौर्भिर्युक्ता चतुर्भिस्फटिकमणिमयीम् अक्षमालां ददानास्ते नैकेन पद्मं सितमभ्यशुकं पुस्तकं चापरेण भासा कुन्देऽपि शङ्खस्फटिकमण्डिपा भासमाना समाना सा मे वाग्देवतेयं निवसतु वदने सर्वदा सुप्रसन्ना पूजन्तं राम रामेति मधुरमुद्राक्षरमारुह्य कविताशाखां वन्दे वाल्मीकिकोकिलम् आञ्जनेयमतिपाटलाननं काञ्चनाद्रिकमणीयं विग्रहं पारिजातधर्मूलवासिनं भावयामि पवमानन्दनं यत्र यत्र रघुनाथकीर्तनं तत्र तत्र कृतमस्तकाञ्जलिं बाष्पवारि परिपूर्णलोचनं मारुतिं नन्दराक्षसान्तम् मनोजवं मारुततुल्यवेगं जितेन्द्रियं बुद्धिमतां वरिष्ठं वातात्मजं वानरयूतमुख्यं श्रीरामदूतं शिरसा नमामि वेदवेद्ये परे पुंसजाते दशरथात्मजे वेदप्राचेतसादासीत् साक्षात् रामायणात्मना रामाय रामभद्राय रामचन्द्राय वेदसे रघुनाथाय नाथाय सीतायाः पतये नमः वैदेही सहितं सुरद्रुमतले हैमे महामण्डपे मध्ये पुष्पकमासने मणिमये वीरासने सुस्थितम् अग्रे वाचयति प्रपञ्चनसुते तत्त्वमुनिभ्यः परं व्याख्यान्तं भरतादिभिः परिवृतं रामं भजे श्यामलं वामे भूमिसुता पुरश्च हनुमान् पश्चात् सुमित्रा सुता शत्रुघ्नो भरतश्च वाशुदलयो वायुवादिकोणेषु च सुग्रीवश्च विभीषणश्च विराट्तारासुतो जाम्बवान् मध्ये नीलसरोजकोमलरुचिं रामं भजे श्यामलम् जानकीकान्तस्मरणं जय जय राम राम आञ्जनेय स्वामी की रोचते यदि वा सख्यं बाहुरेश प्रसारितः गृह्यतां पाणिना पाणिर्मर्यादा बध्यतां ध्रुवा ये तत्त्ववचनं श्रुत्वा सुग्रीवेण सुभाषितं सम्प्रहृष्टमनास्तं पीडयामास पाणिना हृद्यं सौहृदमालम्ब्य पर्यश्वजतपीडितम् हे Rama, if you are happy to regard me as your friend, then here is my arm extended in friendship. Sugriva extends his hand to Rama. Rama, listening to his words, is filled with extreme delight, catches hold of his hand, pulls him towards himself, gives him a tight embrace. Hanuman is watching this. As soon as Hanuman sees this, he is very happy. He says, let this opportunity not be lost. The iron should be struck while it's hot. Like that, here an extraordinary situation is happening. Rama is on his own embracing Sugriva. Sugriva on his own has offered his friendship to Rama. This moment should be immortalized. Adanale solemnized. What does he do? He brings two pieces of wood together, rubs them together and brings up the fire from it, places it on the ground, makes an Agni out of it, offers flowers to the Agni to propitiate it, places it in between Rama and Sugriva, and he says, solemnize your friendship with the fire as the witness. Tatognim dipyamanam tau chakratuscha pradakshinam Sugrivo ragavaschaiva vayasyatvam upagatau. In front of that fire, going around that fire, pradakshinam, chakratuhu pradakshinam. They went around the fire. Rama and Sugriva went around the fire. Like Munnadi, Rama has gone around the fire with Sita. Vivaha Samayatala, during the time of wedding, Rama went around the fire along with Sita. Rama is going around the fire with Sugriva. Agni symbolizes the eternal witness. In front of Agni as the witness, the husband takes the wife and the wife takes on the husband. Like that here. These two friends, vayasyatvam upagatavu. Vayasyatvam அப்படினா friendship, vayasaha அப்படினா friend னு அர்த்தம். ஏன்னா ஒரே வயசில் பண்ணிப்பா இல்லையா, அதனால ஃப்ரெண்ட்ஷிப். Rama and Sugrīva entered into a pact of friendship with each other, became friends with each other. அப்போ என்ன பண்ணாலாம்னா, ததசுப்ரீத மனசௌ தாவுபௌ ஹரிராகவௌ அந்யோன்யம் அபிவீக்ஷந்தௌ ந திருப்திம் உபஜக்மதுஹு. After going around the fire and declaring their friendship, both of them looked at each other, it seems. Anyonyam abhivikshantau. Rama is looking at Sugrīva, Sugrīva is looking at Rama. Na triptim na abhijagmatuhu. Now, despite seeing, they are not satisfied. Despite seeing Rama, Sugrīva is not satisfied. He wants to keep on looking at Rama. Adhe madri, Rama is looking at Sugrīva. He is not satisfied. He wants to constantly look at Sugrīva. Up to your friendship, then and there, instantaneously, it was struck between the two. Apo, looking at Rama, Sugrīva says, Tvam vayasyosi me hridyo hyekam dukkam sukham cha now. From now, now அப்படின்னா in Sanskrit for both of us ன்னு அர்த்தம். For both of us ங்கிறதுக்கு now அப்படின்னு சொல்றோம். The now அப்படின்னா from now for both of us என்னதுன்னா Tvam vayasyosi, you are my friend. Looking at Rama, Sugrīva says, you are my friend. Me hridyo, எனக்கு dear friend, hridya friend, சும்மா ஏதோ friend இல்லை, you are my dear friend. அதனால he ekam dukkam sukham cha now. Dukkha and sukha are the same for both of us from now on. What is sukha to you is sukha to me. What is dukkha to you is dukkha to me. Sugrivo Ragavam Vakyam Ityuvacha Prakrishtavat. Very happily, his heart overflowing with happiness, he tells Rama, Rama, you are my dearest friend, my heart, bosom friend, bosom buddy. என்னோட ஹிருதயத்திலே இந்த ஹிருத்யா. அதனால from this moment onwards our hearts are one. And the heart which feels joy and sorrow is also, because the heart which feels joy and sorrow is one, our joys and sorrows are now shared. உனக்கு தனி sorrow கிடையாது. If you are sad, I am also sad because of your sorrow. அப்படிதான் friendship. What defines friendship அப்படின்னா, Swami சொல்ற மாதிரி, Swami would say, these days what are friends? அப்படின்னா, friends are like the frogs that live in a little pond. When the pond dries, the frogs will all go away. As long as there is money in your pocket, everybody will say, I am your friend, I am your friend. And now once the money goes away, nobody will be your friend. அந்த மாதிரி friend இல்லை Sugrīva. Sugrīva says, your dukkha and sukha are mine from this moment onwards. அப்படின்னு ரொம்ப ஹாப்பியா he cuts down a shala vriksham, a branch of a shala tree, and he puts that down and says, Rama, sit down. அப்படின்னு சொல்றார். He brings down a shala vriksham for Rama. அதை பார்த்த உடனே Hanuman watches Lakshmana standing by the side. The tree was laid down for Rama, Lakshmana is still standing by the side. அதை பார்த்த உடனே ஹனுமானுக்கு பொறுக்கல. Hanuman went and broke a sandalwood tree and brought it for Lakshmana. ராமருக்கு shala vriksham தான், only a normal hardwood tree for Rama. ஆனா லக்ஷ்மணா சந்தன விருட்சம். சந்தன விருட்சஸ்ய ததோ பரம புஷ்பிதம் அப்படின்னா சந்தன விருட்சத்தை கொண்டு வந்து போட்டார். ஏன் அப்படின்னா அவருக்கு தான் தெரியும், நானும் நீ தானே சேவை பண்ணிட்டு இருக்கோம். We are both serving. You have been serving Rama constantly until now. From this point onwards, I am also going to join in that service. அதனால if I need to get an opportunity to serve Rama அப்படின்னா the original person who is serving should be pleased with me. Otherwise he will not give an opportunity to me. இல்லையா? அதனால சந்தன விருட்சத்தை போட்டு நீ உட்காரும். ஓகேமா, ராமர் இருக்கட்டும், அவர் சுக்ரீவன் பார்த்துப்போம். Sugrīva will look after Rama. Let me look after Lakshmana. Because if Lakshmana is pleased only, I will also get an opportunity to serve. ஏன்னா seniority அவன் உட்காந்துருக்கான் முதல்ல. Already he has been serving. நடுவில் இவன் பூந்துட்டான்னு வச்சுக்கோங்க. If this fellow comes in between அப்படின்னா, if Lakshmana says no அப்படின்னா, then Hanuman cannot do anything. Lakshmana knows everything. Already what all Rama likes, what Rama does not like, how Rama would prefer things. Ella Lakshmana knows already. Adalla Hanuman, if he comes, Lakshmana should tell him. பிடிக்காம தப்பு தப்பா சொல்லிவிட்டான்னு வச்சுக்கோங்க. Rama loves boiling hot water. You please give. அப்படின்னா அப்புறம் ஹனுமான் போய் பாய்லிங் ஹாட் வாட்டர் ஐயோ why did you give this? She no need to serve அப்படின்னா முடிஞ்சு போயிட்டு. அதனால he needs to have Lakshmana's favor. Like he needs to be in Lakshmana's good graces. அதனால சொல் ஷாகாம் சந்தன விருக்ஷஸ்ய ததௌ பரம புஷ்பிதா. அதனால he brings a sandalwood tree for Lakshmana. இப்படியா உட்கார்ந்து நோட்டா everybody is seated with heart delighted, eyes sparkling in delight. சுக்ரீவனுக்கு तत प्रहृष्ट सुग्रीवस लक्षणं मधुर्या गिरा प्रत्युवाच तदा रामं हर्ष व्याकुल लोचनः. हर्ष व्याकुल लोचनः, his eyes are bright and shining with joy, heart is filled with ananda. He has found a friend like Rama. அப்படிங்கிறதுனால சந்தோஷம். ஏன்னா இவ்வளவு நாள் சந்தோஷமே இல்லைப்பா. Sugriva has not been happy. Everything dear to him has been taken away from him. Finally he has found a dear friend. अकं विनिकृतो राम चरामि हवयार्दितः कृतभार्यो वनेत्रस्तो दुर्गमे तदुपाश्रितः. Rama's story has already been told to Sugriva. Hanuman, when introduced him already, he said, this is Rama, his wife has been stolen by Ravana, he is come seeking your help. In the side Chuliach. Now Sugriva has to tell his story. Sugriva himself says, I am wandering around in this forest. I have been vinikritaha. I have been badly insulted, humiliated. My wife has been taken away from me. I have been banished to this forest. I have been living in this forest. Yaar bana therima? You know who did all of this? Sogham trasto vane bhito vasam yudbranta chetanaha valina nikruto bratra. Bratra, brother. English word brother comes from the Sanskrit word bratra. You can see the clear bratra, brother. My brother, my own brother Vāli, he is the one who did this. He is the one who has humiliated me. He is the one who is terrorizing me. I am living in mortal fear of him. I am living in mortal fear of him. You alone should relieve me from this fear. Rama, you should remove this fear from me. Rama Dharma Vatsalaha Kakustaha. Rama, who loves Dharma, understands that what has happened to Sugriva was not dharmic at all. Adanala immediately, with a prahasaneva, with a smile upon his face, he says, Upakara phalam mitram viditam me mahakape valinam tam madhishyami tava bharyapaharinam. Upakara phalam mitram. What is a friend? A friend is the fruit of doing good deeds. Upakara phalam. Yarka upakaram pannathan mitra. A friend in need is a friend indeed. In English, the English proverb, the saying, a friend in need is a friend indeed, comes from Ramayanam only. And Rama says, Upakara phalam mitram. In the time of necessity, if he is not assisting, then he is not a friend. In fact, a friend is obtained only by helping somebody in the time of their need. If you go and help them, they become friends with you. You did this for me. Upakara phalam mitram. Adanala, the fruit of helping somebody is friendship. And since we have become friends, naturally I will help you. I will kill that Vāli. Vālinam tam vadishyami. I will kill that Vāli who has taken away your wife. I will kill him. Yen kill. Anna dhane. If Bharata says I will kill Rama, how will it be? Intolerable. But here Rama himself says I will kill Vāli. Even though they are brothers, Sugriva did not say kill Vāli. All Sugriva said was please relieve me from the fear. There are many ways by which the fear could be relieved. Does not mean go and kill the brother. Then why kill him? Rama said he is not a Rakshasa. No? Rama said I will kill Rakshasas. But why kill Vāli? Because what Vāli has done is Parama Adharma. It is sin of the greatest order. What has he done? He has usurped the wife of his younger brother. She should be treated as a daughter. He has usurped her, he has kidnapped her. Rama is unable to bear that kind of injustice that has been meted out to Sugriva. Even if Sugriva has to be banished, he should have been banished along with his wife. There should not be any danger to her. Whereas now she is also endangered. Rama says then he has already lost the right to be a brother. Therefore, it is all right to kill him. Adanala, I will kill him. When Rama says these words, Sugriva is delighted. He says, by your grace, in that case, I will definitely get my wife and kingdom back. ப்ளீஸ் அக்கம்ப்ளிஷ் திஸ் அப்படின்னு இந்த மாதிரி when Rama and Sugrīva made friendship, வால்மீகி சொல்றார், சீதா கபீந்திர க்ஷணதாச்சராணாம் ராஜீவ ஹேம ஜ்வலனோபமானி சுக்ரீவ ராம பிரணய பிரசங்கே வாமானி நேத்ராணி சமம் ஸ்புரந்தி. சுக்ரீவ ராம பிரணய பிரசங்கே அப்படின்னா, பிரணய அப்படின்னா பிரேமான அர்த்தம், லவ். பிரணய பிரசங்கம் அப்படின்னா they coming together in love. When Sugrīva and Rama made friendship, forged an alliance of friendship, were making friends with each other at the same time, என்ன ஆச்சான்னா, சீதா சீதா கபீந்திரஹா, கபீந்திரஹா அப்படின்னா வாலி, the lord of monkeys at that time, Vāli, and Ravana. The மூணு பேருக்கும், for all the three of them, what happened அப்படின்னா, their eyes, the left eye started to throb for all of them. The left eye throbbing is a bad sign for men and a good sign for women. So Sita's left eye throbbed, meaning it's a good sign for her. Vāli and Ravana's left eye throbbed, which means it's a bad sign for them. அப்படி ஒரு சின்ன ஒரு ஜலக் into the future. அப்போ Sugrīva starts to say, Rama, don't worry, I heard all the news about your sorrow and your problem. It will all go away soon. No matter where she is, I will do every effort necessary to find Sita for you. But by the way, Anumana tujanami maitili sana samshayaka hriyamana maya drishta rakshasa krura karmana. A few days ago, I remember a few days ago, I am guessing here Anumanattu. Anumanatmada children. I am assuming என்னது அப்படின்னா, a few days ago I saw a woman being carried away by a rakshasa. அவ அனுமானாத்து நோடோட அவ மைத்திலி தான் நினைக்கிறேன். ஐ எம் ஷூர் ஷி இஸ் மைத்திலி. குரோஷந்தி, ஏன் அப்படின்னா இதுக்கு மேலே டவுட் வரணுமா, குரோஷந்தி ராம ராமேதி, she was shouting ராமா ராமா ராமான்னு கத்தின்னு போயிட்டு இருந்தா. ஏன்னா இவ்வளோத்தையும் ஜாயின் பண்ணதுக்கு அப்புறம் வேற யாரா இருக்க முடியும்? ராமா said ராட்சசா took away my wife. அப்போ சொல்றார், ஒரு ராட்சசா was taking away a woman and incidentally she was calling out Rama Rama. Do you think she is மைத்திலி? Who else will she be? அதனால அனுமானாத்து ஜானாமி மைத்திலி சா ந சம்ஷயஹா. There is no doubt about it. She must be மைத்திலி. Now I am putting everything together. அப்போ யாரோ போனான்னு நினைச்சேன். I thought somebody was going. ஆனால் now I am understanding everything because Kroshanti Rama Rameti Lakshmaneti Javiswaram. Hey Rama, hey Lakshmana. அப்படின்னு she was calling out when she was being taken. And at that time when she saw 5 of us sitting on top of Rishyamukha Parvatam, 5 monkeys, we were sitting on top of Rishyamukha. அந்த டயத்தில் what did she do அப்படின்னால், உத்தரியம் தயா அத்தியக்தம் சுபானி ஆபரணானிச்ச. She took her uttariyam, her upper cloth, and in that she tore a piece of it and bound some auspicious jewels and dropped it in our midst. Adhe, we have kept it safely. I have kept it safely. I will bring it to you. You can identify them and see whether this is Sita. Mostly it is Sita, but check பண்ணிடலாமே. அப்படி இத்தனை நாளைக்கு கழிச்சு சாவகாசமாக சொல்கிறது இந்த குரங்கு. ஏடா முதலே சொல்லி தொலைச்சிருக்க மாட்டியோடா நீ? ஆனயஸ்வ சகே சீக்கிரம் கிமர்த்தம் பிரவிலம்பசே. சீக்கிரம் கொண்டு வாடா. Bring it, my old friend, bring it quickly. Why are you delaying? பட் சாவகாசமாக சொல்கிறது முக்கியத்தை முதல்ல சொல்ல வேண்டாமோ? ஓ ராமா கம்ப சீதா, ஐ திங்க் திஸ் சீதா, அப்போ முதல்ல அது கொண்டு வர வேண்டாமோ? அதுவாக சாவகாசமாக சொல்கிறதுக்கு கொஞ்சம் அப்படி தான் போடுறது சுக்ரீவா. இதுலேருந்து தெரியுது நமக்கு. Sugrīva is a bit like that தான். ஏன்னா that is why later on what does he do அப்படின்னா, when after Vāli is vanquished and he becomes Kishkindhadipati, the lord of Kishkinda, he goes inside and then for months together he seems to forget Rama. Not that he is forgotten, அது கொஞ்சம் ஸ்லோ. அது the communication கொஞ்சம் போராது. The intentions are good. He has got good intentions, no doubt about it. The Hanuman அளவு communication skills போடல. சொல்ல வேண்டிய டயத்தில் சொல்லணும் இல்லையோ, அண்ணா மாத்திரம் போராது. It is not enough merely to do the action. Communication is even more important than action. Even if you don't do it, at least communicate. Whether you are doing it, whether you have done it, whether you are not doing it, whether you have not done it, whatever may be the case, communication should be there. Otherwise, all kind of misunderstandings happen because of non-communication only. That also we are going to see in Sugriva's case. Because that fellow doesn't communicate properly, he is going to get into trouble later. இங்கேயே தெரியுது நமக்கு, இங்கேயே தெரியுது. எல்லாம் வளவளன்னு பேசுறதே தவிர சொல்ல வேண்டியதே சொல்ல வேண்டாமோ. Appropriate time. Sundarakanda Muruka in Sundarakanda, Hanuman is going to sit and debate, and he would say, if at the right time I do not say the right thing, then I might as well shut up. It is guilty. A great guilt. It is a great crime. Words should be spoken at the right time. Savagashama naale pesappadadu. Neethike sollanum nenachen. அந்த பக்கம் போகாதே, உங்க பெரிய குழி இருக்குன்னு அப்ப நம்ம ஆஸ்பத்திரியில போய் பார்த்து சொல்லலாமோ? Visiting the fellow in the hospital. That fellow, Bhavam, he's got, cast everywhere, traction, lying there, and oh, yesterday itself when I saw you, I thought of telling you, don't go that way, there is a big pit there. What is the use? I think you could have at least shut up now. No need to sell now. When you fail to tell, then you must as well shut up now and never say it again. Forever hold your peace. அதுக்குதான் வாக்சாமர்த்தியம். சுக்ரீவன் ஹனுமானோடயே இருக்கான் பாவம். Sugriva is constantly living with Hanuman. Even then he is quite like this. But அவகாசமா சொல்றது, slowly is saying, we found jewels. அப்படின்னா சீக்கிரம் கொண்டு வாடா, bring it quickly. ஆனய ஸ்வசகே சீக்கிரம். ஆனா ராமருக்கு பேஷன்ஸ் உண்டு. பிரியவாதினம், பிரியவாதினமான சுக்ரீவன் தான். ராமர் பேஷன்ஸோட சொல்றார். very patiently Rama is saying, ஆனயஸ்வ, சீக்கிரம் கொண்டு வாடா. My friend, bring it to me. Why delay? உடனே Sugriva enters into the cave and comes back with the ornaments. கொண்டு கொடுக்குறார். அப்படியே கொண்டு வந்து ராமர் கிட்ட பாருங்கோ. தர்ஷயாமாச வான இதம் பஷ்யேதி ராமாய தர்ஷயாமாச வானரஹ இதம் பஷ்யேதி. தோர்க்கே பாருங்களேன். Here it is. See it. அப்படின்னு he gives it to Rama. இதை பார்க்குறார். Rama is looking at that cloth, looking at the jewels that have been bundled inside the cloth. He opens it. அப்படி பார்க்கும்பொழுது என்ன ஆச்சுன்னா, ततो गृहीत्वा वासस्तु शुभान्याभरणानि च अभवद् बाष्प संरुद्धो नीहारेणेव चन्द्रमाः. Like the moon covered with frost or the dew or the mist. In the winter, when the moon comes up, there is so much of haze, fog, very blurred vision of the moon we get. Like that, Rama's eyes were filled with tears. He was looking like a blurry image of himself. His eyes were filled with tears. Sita sneha pravrittena satu bashpena dushitaha ha priyeti rudantair. Ha priye, ah my Sita, my beloved. Abdinna, his eyes filled with tears. He could not speak anymore. Abdi, he started to cry inconsolably. Kshitau nyapatatanu choluta. Nyapatat kshitau, he fell to the ground. Abdiye ukanduttaram. Rama sank to the ground. Looking at the thing, he abdiye fell to the ground. Ha priye, oh my Sita. Sighing heavily, pressing those ornaments to his chest, to his heart, he began to wail piteously. Tears streaming continuously. Avichinna shru vegastu. Avichinna shru. Uninterrupted tears, unceasing tears are flowing. Paridevayitu. He started to cry piteously. Looking at Lakshmana, he said, Lakshmana, Pashya Lakshmana, Vaidehya Santyaktamu Hriyamanaya. When she was being abducted, Vaidehi has cast these jewels. Pashya, look at this. Uttari Yamidam Bhumau Sharirabdushanani cha Bhushanani cha, Uttariyam Bhushanani cha, Sharirat Bhumau Santyaktam. He has taken this upper cloth of hers, torn it and thrown it into the ground along with the jewels in order to give us a clue. Then Sita wrote the Lakshmana, look at this. Sita has certainly dropped them here, there is no doubt about it. Anna, enakku theriyaliyada. Hey Lakshmana, I am not able to see whether they are indeed hers, because my eyes are filled with so much tears. Every time I look at it, my eyes are filled with tears. I am not able to see clearly. Lakshmana, you tell me, you have a look at it and tell me, do they belong to Sita? அப்படின்னு Lakshmanan கிட்ட கொடுக்குறார். And this particular instant, this particular shloka, this particular story, Swami used to narrate so many times until it went and became drilled into the very bones itself for me. Eva muktastu Ramena Lakshmano Vakyam Abravit. Lakshmana tells Rama, the famous shlokam, Naham janami keyure, Naham janami kundale, Nupure tu abhijanami nityam padabhivandanam. For 10 years, Lakshmana has lived together with Rama and Sita. Adhe Ataladan, same place, same house, they have lived together. 10 years, more than 10 years they have been together. About 10 years she's been wearing the same jewels only. She has no martar to kidayade. She has not changed her jewels to match her clothes and so on. Same thing she has been wearing. Anal, when her jewels are now being asked by Rama to be identified, Lakshmana says, Naham janami keyure. I do not know these bangles. I do not know whether these bangles belong to Sita or not. I do not know these bangles. Naham janami keyure. Naham janami kundale. I do not know whether these earrings belong to Sita. Yenna, nam paathade illiyena. I have not seen them. I have not seen her bangles. I have not seen her earrings. Anal, I know one thing. Nupure tu abhijanami. These anklets I know they belong to Sitama. Yenna, nityam padabhivandanam. Every day I fall at her feet. Every day I fell at her feet to worship her. At that time, the only ornament that I saw that belonged to her were these anklets. Rest of it, you're asking the wrong person. I do not know. And Swami would hold that out as the greatest example of self-control, of sense control, that immensity of vairagya that was demonstrated by Lakshmana, who was with Rama all the time. That is why he could get the opportunity to serve Rama like that. Adukku aduthabadi, the next person that Rama is going to admit into the same circle is Hanuman. Hanuman alone is going to be the next person that can go to Sita anytime, talk to her, bring her, etc. Sita herself is going to say it later on in Sundarakandam. She is going to say, if you have been sent by Rama, then I know I can talk to you. Yenna, Rama has already evaluated you and sent you. Rama would not have sent. Adinala, I can talk to you. Appadinu Sita tells Hanuman. The Madri Hanuman is the next person. We can see the character of Lakshmana that shines up. 10 years they have been living together. He has not even seen, apart from her feet, he has not paid attention to anything. Not seen. How can you not see? Will you close his eyes when if she comes in front? Not like that. But his attention was not there. He never paid any attention to any part of her body. Only feet. Nityam padabhivandanam. Because every day I worship those feet. Abdinne Chodra. Rama is now convinced this is certainly Sita. You have seen her. You have seen Ravana take her. Now tell me, where does Ravana live? We've got to go and find him out. I've got to destroy him. Tell me where he lives. Immediately now I will go and send him to Yamaloka. All you've got to do is point me in the direction. Tell me where he lives. Abdinne. With great deep distress, Rama is crying and asking Sugrīva. Eva muktastu Sugrīvo Rāmayanam vanaraha abravit pranjalirvakyam sabhashpam bashpagadgadaha. On listening to Rama Rama's voice, Rama's sorrow, seeing Rama's sorrow, listening to Rama's voice being choked with sorrow. என்ன ஆச்சு அப்படின்னா, Sugrīva replied to him with folded hands. கையை கூப்பிட்டு அந்த வானரன் சொல்றதான் எப்படி இருக்குன்னா, பாஷ்பகத்கதஹா, பாஷ்பம் பாஷ்பகத்கதா. His own eyes were filled with tears. His voice also was choked on seeing Rama's sorrow. இப்பதானே friends ஆனா, they just became friends ஆனா. And look at the extent to which they have given their hearts to each other. அப்படிங்கிறது தெரியுது. When Rama is feeling sad, Sugrīva is immensely feeling sad. சும்மா வாக்கியம் சொல்லல. He did not simply say, for us now Sukham and Dukham are the same அப்படின்னு சொல்ல. ஏகம் துக்கம் சுகம் cha now அப்படின்னு when he mentioned that, it was not merely a statement which looked nice and fancy. It was the reality as far as Sugrīva was concerned. When he sees Rama's sorrow, he cries. அழுதுண்டே சொல்றான், ந ஜானே, I do not know where he lives. எனக்கு தெரியாதே, அவன் எங்க இருக்கான்னு தெரியாதே. I do not know where he lives. I do not know samartyam vikramam chapi. What are his capabilities? What are his skills? What is his power? I do not know. Daushya kulesya vakulam. And what despicable clan he belongs to also I do not know. I don't know any information about him. Anal, but Satyam te pratijanami tyaja shokamarindama. But I am telling you the truth, I am declaring the truth, I am making a promise to you. Give up your sorrow, because karishyami tatayatnam yata prapsyasi maithili. I shall do such efforts by which Sita will be obtained for you. I promise this to you. Ravanam saganam hatva paritoshya atmapaurusham tatasmi karta na chiradhyata prito bhavishyasi. With all my capacity, all my capability, I shall go and fight with that Ravana, kill him and his people, and I will act in such a way that you will become happy. Very soon we will do it. Adana ipani alam vaiklavyam. Anna, now give up this despair. Ipni alalama. Can you lose your heart like this? Can you become so discouraged like this? Alam vaiklavyam alam vyadairyam gatam smara tatvadvidanam na sadarsham idrisham buddhilaghavam. It is not appropriate for a person of your stature, of your nature, of your disposition to become so depressed, so despondent. It is not right. Maya api vyasanam praptam. Maya api vyasanam praptam. Yanakundaan dukkam irukku. I also am sad. Bharya virahajam mahat. My wife is also not there. I am also suffering separation from my wife. Ana nagame vahi shochami. But I am not crying like this. Nacha dhairyam parityaje. And I have not lost my courage and patience. இப்படி அழலாமோ? Should you cry? நான் குரங்குனா நாகம் தாமனுஷோச்சாமி பிராக்ருதோ வானரோபி சன்னு மகாத்மா ச வினீதஸ்ச கிம் புனர்திருதிமான் பவான். I am only a monkey, but despite being mere monkey, I am also not crying so much when that I am suffering this separation from my wife. That being the case, somebody like you, Mahatma, an extraordinary Mahatma, you are endowed with all kinds of auspiciousness in you, fortitude in you. Should you give way to such despondency and despair? Is it right? It is not at all right. You should not do that. Adinala bāshpamāpatitam dairya nigrahitum tvamarkasi. You should arrest the flow of tears. You should stop crying. You should restrain your tears with patience. Maryadam satvayuktanam dhritim notsrishtamarhasi. You should not give up the dignity and steadfastness that is appropriate to you, a person of your nature. You should not cry in this manner. Sugrīvan சொல்றான் ராமருக்கு, யசனேவா அர்த்தகிருச்ரேவா பயேவா ஜீவிதாந்தகே விமர்ஷன் வை ஸ்வயா புத்யா திருதிமான் நவசீததி. Whether it is vyasane in times of grief and trouble, arthakrichre in times of financial distress when wealth is lost, bhaye in fear, or jivitantake even at the time of death and the fear that comes, even then a man of courage will take recourse in his own buddhi and he will not feel sad. He will be patient, he will be courageous, he will depend upon his wisdom and he will not feel sad. Only an unwise man, a Only a childish person will be overwhelmed by sorrow. Children cry, grown-ups should not cry. Bālishastu naro nityam vaiklavyam yonuvartate. Bālishaha. Bālishaha na childish people. Na kodandadane allu. Yeah, kodandadane allu. If a small child is there, if you take away a chocolate from the child will cry. If you take the chocolate away from a grown-up man and he also cries, something is wrong with him. Yeah. Chocolate peduthu mansha alvalo. A grown-up man cry. Sugrīva children, you should not cry like this. It is not right, it is not appropriate. He is not preaching. He must understand. That is why Valmiki, even before he started telling us what Sugrīva spoke, he said, Sugriva's eyes were filled with tears. His voice was choked on seeing Rama's sorrow, and then he says all these things. Holier than thou art sholala. Look at me. Useless fellow. Why are you crying? He is not saying like that. He is so distressed by Rama's sorrow that he is speaking these out of his own good intentions only. He is like a well-wisher. He is telling Rama. Adinala, Yesho Anjalirmaya Bhadda Pranayatvam Prasadaye Paurusham Shrayashokasya Nantaram Datumargasi. Therefore, on account of our friendship, on account of the fact that we have now newly become friends, I am imploring you with folded palms, please show Paurusham Prasadaya. Be pleased to shower me with your grace and show some manliness. Pranayatvam Prasadaye Paurusham Shrayashokasya. Take recourse to your manliness and give up this sorrow. Give up this sorrow. It's discouraging. You should look at his point of view also. He thought finally somebody has come to tackle Vāli. This fellow, what is he going to do tomorrow? How will he fight Vāli? He's crying like this. So he says, you must give some confidence to me. You must show confidence yourself. Paurusham Shraya. Therefore, take refuge in Paurusham, in your manliness, manly vigor, and stop crying. You ought not to grieve. There is no happiness for those who give way to sorrow. Sorrow is being the very antithesis of happiness. The moment you give in to sorrow, then it becomes very hard to get out of that sorrow and become happy, even when the sorrowful event or circumstance is moved away. It is very important because what is sorrow? Every emotion. Emotion means chemicals. Emotion is nothing but chemicals. So what you should do is when you become sad, you should not become so sad that a lot of chemicals become accumulated in the body. Then what will happen? As long as those chemicals are remaining in the body, sorrow will continue. Even when there is no need for being sad, you will still be sad. We see in our children sometimes. They will start crying for something. Then okay, everything is alright. They still keep crying. Why are you still crying? I don't know. I don't know. I feel like crying. I'm crying. What are you? Everything is alright. Having cried a lot, now you can't stop now. Now that sorrow chemical is there in the body. Until that chemical goes away from the body, until it's denatured, until it's processed, sorrow will continue. Even if you must be sad for a short while. Don't be so sad that you cannot come out of it easily. Carry on. Otherwise you will get too much into sorrow. Ye shokam anvartante na tesham vidyate sukham. Ye shokam anvartante na tesham vidyate sukham. Those who entertain too much sorrow, they will never be happy. They cannot be happy. They will always be sad at the inoculation. Vaccine. You put some vaccine, what happens? Even the slightest trace of the virus, immediately the body will react, antibodies will be produced, everything will be destroyed. And the Madri, if you get injected with the Shoka vaccine, but even a little bit of Ananda will come, then immediately antibodies against Ananda will come destroyed and you become sad again. Correct vaccine, you should put the right vaccine. No? ஏதோ டிசீஸ்க்கு ஏதோ வேக்சின் போட்டால் என்ன பிரயோஜனம்? வாட் இஸ் த யூஸ்? அப்போது you should not be inoculated with shoka, instead you should be inoculated with ananda, harsha. Happiness should be the inoculation, so that even if a little bit of sorrow comes immediately, we should be able to tackle it with joy rather than the other way around. Tejasya kshiyate tesham natvam shochitam arhasi. Natvam shochitam arhasi ங்கிறது பகவான் கீதையில சொல்ற வாக்கியம். அர்ஜுனன் கிட்ட சொன்ன natvam shochitam arhasi அசோச்சான் அன்வசோச்சாஸ்தம் பிரஜாவாதாம் ஷபாஷசே. இன்னொரு இடத்துல சொல்றோம் என்ன, தஸ்மாத் என்ன சொல்லுவான், தஸ்மாத் அபரிஹாரேன நத்வம் சோசித்தும் அர்ஹசி. அபரிஹாரமார்த்தமான விஷயம் அது, you cannot do anything, you cannot remedy it. ஜாதஸ்ய ஹி த்ருவோர் மிருத்யுஹு. If a person is born, he is going to die, you cannot remedy it, so why feel sad about it? But when should you feel sad அப்படின்னா, when should you feel sad? You should feel sad if you can remedy and you could not do anything to remedy it. What cannot be remedied, you should not feel sad about. But what is it that you can remedy now? Nothing in this world can be remedied by you. இதை முதல்ல புரிஞ்சுக்கணும். Nothing in this world can be changed by you. Nothing in the world can be remedied by you. People will say we will fight it. Apparently they will themselves accept defeat and say, okay, we cannot really get to zero, but we will see how close to zero we can get. மாற்றிடுவோம், கதையை மாற்றிடுவோம், பிளேட்டை மாற்றிடுவோம் இல்லையா? zero, no, suppress, zero, no virus. அப்புறம் என்ன ஆயிடுச்சு, looks like it is difficult, okay, we will get back to you tomorrow as to how minimally we can continue. அப்போ என்ன அர்த்தம், you cannot change anything, ஒன்றும் மாற்ற முடியாது, எல்லாம் அபரிஹார்த்தம் தான். No பரிஹாரம் cannot be done, no remedial measure can be applied for anything. முயன்றே சீர்திருத்திட முடியும் உன்னாலே என்று இல்லையா, சாதுவோமர் சுவாமிகளோட ஒரு பாட்டு, அழகான பாட்டு. முற்போது தர்மம் என்றும் தற்போது அதர்மம் என்றும் முயன்றே சீர்திருத்திட முடியும் உன்னாலே என்றும் எண்ணும் அற்ப அகந்தை செருக்கையில் அலையாமலே அடங்கி ஆண்டவன் ஆட்சியில் எல்லாம் தர்மம் என்று எப்போது நீ அறிவாயோ அப்போதே சாந்தி அடைவாய் அப்படின்னு ஒரு பாட்டு. Beautiful song. What does it mean? அப்படின்னா, முற்போது தர்மம், in those days and all dharma was there, now everything is only adharma everywhere, Kali Yuga has come, adharma அப்படின்னு thinking like that and believing that by your efforts you can somehow change all of these things அப்படின்னா, instead of doing all of that, let go of that ego that makes you feel so and subside. When you do that and you realize that in God's rule there is only dharma, there is no adharma, then and there you will attain shanti. அதனால நத்வம் சோசித்தும் அர்ஹசி, there is no point in being sad. ஷோகேனாபி பிரபன்னஸ்ய ஜீவிதே சாபி சம்சயः. If you give way to too much sorrow, then even living becomes difficult for you. Living itself becomes doubtful. Sa shokam tyaja rajendra dhairyam ashraya kevalam. Therefore give up this sorrow and take recourse to courage. இவ்வளவு நான் சொல்றேனே, I am saying all of these things to you, ஆனால் please do not misunderstand me. I am only a monkey. But hitam vayasya bhavena brumi na upadishami te. As a friend wanting your welfare, I am saying all these things. I am not preaching you. I am not so presumptuous as to think I am in a position to advise you. So I am not giving upadesha to you. Vayasadaam pujayanme natvam shochitam arhasi. Respecting my friendship, you should not give way to sorrow in this manner. அப்படின்னு ரொம்ப ஸ்வீட்டான மதுரமான வாக்கியத்தில் மதுரம் சாந்த்விதஸ்தேன சுக்ரீவேண ச ராகவஹா. Sugrīva consoled Rama using these very sweet words. உடனே ராமா took his vastrantena mukam ashru pariklinam vastrantena pramarjayat. Minute details also Valmiki presents so beautifully. Taking the end of his cloth, Rama wiped away the tears in his eyes. துணினா உத்தரியம் இருக்கும் இல்லையா, இட்ஸ் அப்பர் கிளாத், he took it and wiped away his tears. முடிச்சுட்டு அப்படியே once again he came back to composed himself, prakritistaha, caught hold of Sugriva's hands tightly and பிடிச்சிட்டார். சொல்லிட்டு கர்த்தவ்யம் யத்வயசேன snigdena cha hitena cha anurupam cha yuktam cha kritam Sugrīva tatvaya. Sugrīva, the duty that should be discharged by a friend, that you have done in such a beautiful, befitting manner. With your sweet words, with your good wishes, you have guided me back to my own senses, back to my own nature. It is very difficult to find a friend like you, especially at such a time for me. Asmin kale visheshata, in the kalathala, especially now. Annamadi durlabhohi idrisho bandruho asmin kale visheshataha. In the time of difficulty in which I am, to find a friend like you is indeed difficult, impossible. I have accomplished that. Anna, my friend, you have got to do all that is possible to get Sita back to me from Ravana. Now, but first, before that, you tell me what I should do for you. I have got to do for you. I have got to relieve your sorrow first. You are here and your sorrow is here. Let us tackle this first. Let us talk about that later on. Let us talk about my sorrow later. Let us tackle yours first. I assure you that your desire will be fulfilled. Just as if seeds are sown on a fertile ground and it rains, how it will definitely germinate and bear fruit, like that, your words, your desires will come true. I am promising you that. Children, Anritam nokta purvam me nacha vakshe kadachana etatte pratijanami satyenaiva chate shapamyaham. I have never before said an untruth, and I shall never ever in the future say a false word. This is my promise. I swear by truth alone, all your sorrow will be removed from you. Your problems will be solved by me. Abdil Rama gives a promise. Listening to this, Sugrīva is very happy. Priya. Evam ekanta sampriktau tatastau naravanarau ubhav anyonya sadrisham sukham dukkham abhashata. In this manner, ekanta sampriktau, sitting in solitude, Rama and Sugrīva sitting together, shared their sukha and dukkha anyonya sadrisham, in a mutually befitting manner. Both of them shared their sorrows and joys with each other. Since Rama has asked him, Sugrīva narrates his tale of woe to Rama. He says, how did it all happen? Rama, Shakyam kalu bhaved Rama sahayena tvayanagha surarajyam api praptum swarajyam kim punah prabho. I'm certain that by your help, with your help, I can even attain Indraloka, Indrarajya, Surarajya. What is then to speak about my Swarajya? I can become the king of the Devas if you help me. You are so capable. What is the mere thing of becoming king of monkeys? Soham sabhajyo bandhunam suhridam chaiva raghava yasya agnisakshikam mitram labdam raghavam shacham. You have been born in Raghukula, you have become my friend with fire as the witness. Therefore, I shall definitely be the most loyal friend to you. Ahamapi anurupaste vayasyo nyasyase shanaihi natu vaktum samartokham swayam atmagatan gunan. Although I should not be boasting my own qualities, I should not be boasting. But if I have any good quality, it is loyalty to my friends. I will always be loyal to you. I will do everything for you. You will yourself come to know. Shanaihi, slowly in the due course of time, you will come to know what kind of a person I am. I will definitely be good friends with you. Abdina Sugrīva says. Friendship apati konjam peshara. I speak a little bit about friendship. Mahatmanam tu bhuyishtam twadvidhanam kritatmana nischala bhavati pritir dhairyamaatmavatamiva. The affection of people like you, the love of people like you, Mahatmanam tu bhuyishtam twadvidhanam. Noble souls, exalted souls like you will have stable love. Your love will not change when change comes. The love of worldly people will change as per their conveniences. The love of Mahatmas is Niswartha Prema. It is a love that does not have any selfishness in it. Adunala, no matter what happens, that love will not change. Because the love is not because of you, the love is because of them. The love that a Mahatma has for you is not because of you, it is because of them. Therefore, no matter how you behave or how you change, their love for you will not change because it has little to do with you. Their love has little to do with you. Their love has to do fully with themselves only. Because their nature is to love, they will love. However, howsoever you behave has got little impact to them on their love will remain the same. A person like you, for me to get as a friend is my good fortune, because even if I behave in a monkey-like manner, you will always remain true in your love. Silver, gold, clothes, etc., good wealth, prosperity, none of those can be equal to good friendship. Adyo va pidaridro va dukkita sukhito va nirdosho va sadosho va vayasya paramagatihi. Whether he has got money or no money, whether he is in good fortune or bad fortune, whether he is filled with mistakes or whether he is flawless, does not matter. A friend alone can be the ultimate refuge for another friend. And our friends don't it's okay. They will adjust with each other. Yeah. Abdina Sugriva says all these things to Rama. Rama also accepts yes and children. Tell me your story. Tell me your sorrow. Abdina Rama asks Sugriva, Sugrivan children. Because I consider you my good friend, I am opening up and telling you my inner sorrow. Now, immediately he feels like crying. Sugriva's tears also come. He wipes away the tears and he says, if some outsider came and beat me up, it's a different story. My own elder brother is the one who is my enemy. What to do? But my fortune is like that. My own elder brother become my enemy. Apparpata dukkam, my sorrow will go only with his death, looks like. Children, after my father passed away, all the monkeys decided to make Vāli, my elder brother, as the king. Due, naturally, eldest son becoming the king. Even in monkeys, that is the case. Ramana Bhagavan has done a lot of research in the lives of monkeys. Paper published pannala. He has not published any papers, otherwise it will rank among the top anthropologists or primatologists. He would have made an excellent primatologist because he has done so much research. He knows how they work. Brothers in amongst the monkeys, the brothers and all are very helpful. The alpha male, the monkey clan will have an alpha male. And do you know how he becomes the alpha male? He depends on the help of all his younger brothers to become the alpha male. All of them join together to help him establish his dominance. Lots of secrets are there in the life of monkeys. Bhagavan has revealed so many things. Usually monkeys are close now. Vāli was an alpha male. He was made the king. I was Sugrivan children, I was servant Mardan, I was only Aham Sarveshu Kaleshu Pranataha Preshavatastitaha. I was standing by his side like a servant to him. No, my elder brother, I was serving like how Lakshmana is serving you, I was serving. One day, Mayavi Nama Tejasvi Purvajo Dundube Sutaha Tena Dasya Mahadvairam Strikritam Vishrutam Pura. Dundubi's eldest son, Mayavi. Dundubi or Rakshasan. Mayavi is a mighty demon. He developed a bitter enmity with Vāli due to a woman. Though a stree related enmity was developed between this Mayavi and Vāli. Dundube Sutaha ne Chulram Mayavi Nama Tejasvi Purvajo Dundubehe Sutaha. Dundubi's Aparma enna aayirudhu the Dundubeengiravan avanoda thambiya kaamikkiran. Adanal slight idu irukku. Anyway, does not matter. Mayavi or Rakshasa. He had an enmity with my brother Vāli, so one night in midnight when all of us were sleeping, Satu Supta Jane Ratro, all of us were sleeping in Kishkinda. Apo, this Mayavi came to the entrance of Kishkinda and started to scream loudly, angrily, bellowing at Vāli, asking him to come and, hurling all kinds of abuses at Vāli. My brother could not sleep, he got him immediately. When he got up like that and came out in his anger, all the women folk tried to stop him, he pushed them all away. Even I came to him and said, what has happened? Out of the affection that I had for my brother Vāli, I also followed him. We both came out. And when both of us came out angrily, this Rakshasa Mayavi saw us and he became afraid and he ran away. He started running away. Because he ran away, we gave chase to him. He frightened, he entered into a cave. And when he entered into the cave, we saw him enter into the cave. So we came near that cave. Vāli became very angry and he said, Sugrīva, you wait here at the entrance of this cave and be on your alert. I will go into this cave and I will kill this fellow and come. I told him, no, I will also come inside. But he said, no, you have to follow my orders, you stay outside here. He ordered me and he went inside. A whole year passed by since the time he entered into the cave and there was no sign of what was happening. Neither Mayavi came out nor Vāli came out. I was standing outside waiting for 1 whole year. And I became very agitated. I thought, what has happened? Maybe has Vāli died? That is one of the mark, a sure sign that you are related to somebody. You will generally have no confidence in them. 2 fellows went inside. Sugrīva feels Vāli must have died. Could Mayavi not have died? We rarely have confidence in our own brothers, our own kith and kin, our own husbands, our own wives. We somehow believe my wife does not know. Other wives seem to know, except my wife. Other husbands know, except my husband. Other children are smart, except my children. Vote of no confidence will automatically come. Sugrīva thought Vāli must have died. After a long time, even as he was thinking Vāli must have died, suddenly blood started to flow from the cave, from the mouth of the cave. Now I was convinced this is Vāli's blood. Blood test pannana, DNA test pannana. As soon as he saw the blood, he was able to identify the Vāli blood. Some extraordinary powers he must have had. Hearing the roaring voices of Rakshasas, I immediately thought Vāli must have died. And therefore, in order to prevent this fellow from coming outside, I saw there was a huge rock. I rolled that rock and covered the mouth of that cave with it. Pannitu, enna pannen appadina annakku tarpanam pannanam. Udakam kritva appadina tarpanam pannen. Paavum Vāli poitan. Appadina davasame pannittam paavum. Vāliki. அவன் உயிரோட உட்காந்துருக்கான் கொண்டுக்கெல்லாம் கல்லால் மூடிவிட்டு போயிட்டான் அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு தவசம் பண்ணிட்டு வந்துருக்கு இந்த குழந்தை. Thinking Vāli has died, he gave water to Vāli, the deceased soul. Vāli, may you rest in peace. அப்படி அதெல்லாம் சொல்லி all kinds of things he said and he came away. Again, when he came back to Kishkinda, what happened? அப்படின்னா அவ்வளோதான். Vāli kicked the Vāli. In Tamil, Vāli means bucket. Vāli means bucket. What did Vāli do now? Vāli kicked the Vāli. He kicked the bucket. What to do? Vāli vadenda. Apdi enna pandrathu? Appadina he came and reported immediately. All the monkeys, elder monkeys got together and said, we need a king. Rajyathukku Raja vanum. It is very important. Adanala, since Vāli was the ruler, now Vāli is not there, therefore Angada is too small baby. Angada was a small baby can't be the king. Adanala Sugrīva, you have got to become the king. They all forced me, so I became the king. One fine day I was sitting on the throne, happily ruling over the kingdom, when who should come but Vāli. Vāli vandutaan. And when he saw me on the throne sitting there with the crown, he became very angry. Actually, Sugrīva சொல்றான், निग्रहेऽपि समर्थस्य तं पापं प्रति राघव न प्रवर्तत मे बुद्धिः भ्रातुर्गौरवयन्त्रिता. Even though I was capable of fighting with that Vāli, I did not want to do so because after all he was my elder brother. I respected him, I revered him. As soon as he came, I fell at his feet. Anna, vandutela, have you come back? Immediately, he kicked me. He did not consider me. I sought to appease him even though I was very angry, but he did not bother with all of that. Anna, you have come back safely. You have killed the enemy and you have come back safely. Here is the royal umbrella. Here is a royal throne. Here is a royal crown. Please accept it. You become the king. I offered everything back to him. I also told him why I did what I did. But he was not willing to listen to all of those things. Instead, all he said was, you knew that I would not have returned home without killing that Rakshasa. I told you to wait at the entrance until I came out. Instead, what did you do? As soon as I went in, you closed the... He does not know he was waiting for 1 year. He said, as soon as I went in, you have closed the mouth of the cave with a huge rock so that I will not come out, and you have now come here and usurped my throne. You are sitting on the throne. This is what you have done. Again and again and again I called out to you. Children, after killing him, when I came out, I could not see any way to come out. I could not get out of it. विक्रोशमानस्य तुमे सुग्रीवेति पुनः पुनः यदा प्रतिवचो नास्ति ततोऽहं वृषदुःखितः. Vāli's point of view is also appreciable. Ennachu appadina oru guhaikulla poirukkan, he's gone inside a cave. All of a sudden he comes out, if there is no way to come out, he's a claustrophobic fellow maybe. We do not know. Maybe he suffered from claustrophobia. Or psychiatrist somebody would have diagnosed him and said this fellow suffers from severe fear of closed spaces. He became panicky. And children, I became panicky. I started calling out Sugrīva, 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 and I called out. There was no response from you, not a voice from you. In the terror, I kicked it again and again and again. I kicked the boulder until it flew out, and then I came out. I came out. And then I rushed back to see you're sitting on the throne. Some emotional trauma he has gone through. Because of that, he actually already was angry. Now when he came and saw Sugrīva on the throne, and it became the last straw that broke Vāli's dam. Nala Vāli became very angry. He was unwilling to listen to anything that Sugrīva would say. We will stop here today and we will continue again tomorrow with the story. Janaki Kanta Smaranam, Jai Jai Rama Rama Anjaneya Swami Ki Jai. Sarve Bandhu Sukhna, Sarve Santu Ramaya, Sarve Bhutrani Vishnu Bhagavata Bhagavata Loka Samstha Sukhna Bhagavata Loka Samstha Sukhna Bhagavata Loka Samstha Sukhna Bhagavata Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat Shri Sai Ishvara Namastu.